Hey there guys, if you have ever wanted to provide more enrichment for your bird, in this video we are going to cover the basics of teaching foraging behaviors, particularly for birds who have never really had that much enrichment in the past. So if that's something you are into, you want to stick around because that's going to be coming up right after this. Hey there guys, this is Jack over at High Red Bird, where I am tirelessly working to find new ways to make the keeping of exotic animals and pets more exciting, more affordable, and ultimately more enjoyable. And in this video I wanted to go ahead and cover some ways that you can begin to enrich different birds. This bird right here is an umbrella cockatoo. His name is Grayson, so he's going to be a part of this video today to help show you guys how you can teach foraging behavior to birds. Now, one thing that is very important to keep in mind is that enrichment is a blanket term that can cover a wide variety of things, but essentially it is anything that causes your animal to think or interact with its environment in a way that is outside the norm. So that can include things like giving different treats, giving different toys, things for them to interact with, play with, things that they can see and listen to. Birds are very, very intelligent, so for them, enrichment is incredibly important. I know you agree, don't you? Yeah, he likes to be the star of the show. Now, for one thing, you want to remember that birds in the wild spend the majority of time that they are awake foraging for food. They go around, they look for other foods, so it's really, really nice that we can provide them a bowl that has everything they need for the day all chopped up and ready in one convenient place, but they're used to having to work a little bit harder for that. So one of the best ways to enrich your birds, to ensure that they are mentally, emotionally, physically stimulated, is to help them with foraging and different types of enrichment. Now, one of the easiest ways to teach enrichment is going to be with this item right here. Now, this is a stainless steel kebab or stainless steel skewer. This is one of my favorite toys when it comes to parrot training and parrot enrichment. It's basically a stainless steel skewer. It has a ball on the end that you can twist on. It's got a ring on the side that you can add a quick link if you need to. Luckily right now Grayson is on a stand that is made out of an old school bird cage holder, so it actually has that hook right in the middle that was originally made to hold the bird cage. It'll hold this skewer just fine. Now, most birds are going to be able to go up to their food bowl. They're going to be able to find the food that they want really, really easily. Sometimes they're going to be scared of new things in their environment, though, and this skewer is one of them. And if you guys do not have a skewer like this, I'm going to go ahead and put a link down in the comment section below. That way you guys can go ahead and get one if this looks like it's going to be a good idea for you. But the first thing you want to do is you want to encourage your animal to not be afraid of the skewer, and one of the best ways to do that is through using a desired food item. So right now I am going to just take an entire apple, just put it right there on that skewer. I twist this ball right on it, keeps it nice and secured. Now there are different types of skewers that you can use. With Grayson right here, I always use one of these kebabs that has the ball on the end. It twists on. There are other types that just have a piece that slides on and it's got a button that you can press to release. The problem with that is that Grayson here has learned how to hit that button, how to make everything fall to the ground. He thinks it's hilarious, but at the end of the day, it's probably a little more enrichment for me than it is for him, as it gives me a lot more things to do, and after 3 seconds of throwing everything on the ground, Grayson's left with not much else to do. So you take the skewer, and you go ahead, set it right up there where the bird can get it. Of course, he's going to act like he has never had one of these before in his life. And usually apples are going to be one of his favorite food items. But of course, right now, the camera is also a little bit more interesting. So you can see he's going right for that apple, taking big bites of it. This alone is going to be one of the best ways that you can provide a variety of different things for your birds. You want to remember that even though we chop up food for them, greens, produce, vegetables, fruits, nuts, and seeds, in the wild, nobody does that for them. So instead, this skewer gives the apple something that it can hold on to. Grayson can take bites off of it as big or as little as he wants to take. that's going to be a little bit closer to how it would be in the wild. So that's going to be a great way to get your animal started being interested in a skewer like this. Now, of course, okay, can I take it away? Thank you, buddy. You may not always want to give your bird something that is the size of an apple. In fact, even for Grayson, that would be a lot of apple for one sitting. I personally am of the opinion I like to give my animals a little bit of variety with their daily diet, so I would never want to give them a whole apple all at once. Maybe I'd give them a part of an apple and a part of a cantaloupe and some green beans and some carrots. So the next thing you want to do is look at how you can feed out smaller food items. And the easiest way to do that is going to be with these guys right here. These are just baskets. You can get them from most grocery stores, dollar stores are going to have them. And they have a hole drilled out into the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to thread this on the skewer. And then I also have this piece right here, this round block that has this hole drilled through the middle. The reason that I love this is that block sits very nicely on the ball of the kebab. So once I flip it over, you can see that kebab stays pretty steady. If that flat piece of the basket was sitting directly on the ball of the kebab, it would be a lot more wobbly, especially if you have a bird that's a little bit intimidated or scared of new things. That might be a little bit startling. But what I can do is I can then take this right here, set that up there, and now instead of a whole apple, Grayson can get a few almonds, which you can see he is very, very excited about. He's actually a lot more excited about those than he was about that apple. So this basket right there gives you ways that you can put food in brand new places. You can hang the skewer all over the cage, you can put it higher or lower than their normal food bowls, and it's going to be a great way to work other food into their enclosure, give them things that they have to look for. Now, of course, Grayson is a very, very smart bird, and I can just give him food like that, but sometimes I want to make him work for it. After all, we are trying to replicate the idea that birds have to work and look for their food in the wild, so I am going to take two baskets. I am going to put them together. Now, there is nothing holding them together. They'll have the skewer threading them together, but you can very easily move them along that skewer. And of course, Grayson is very excited right now. Now, what I can do with this is take a few almonds, put them inside the two baskets, and as they line up, you can see Grayson is going to have to work a little bit harder to get to them. Now, he might decide to pick up one of the baskets. He can twist them just a little bit. And of course, depending on your bird, they may decide to just completely destroy the baskets. But as you can see, Grayson here, he's done this before, so he knows exactly how to get in there without much effort. Now, there's a couple of things you want to take into consideration when you're doing a setup like this. One of them is you want to make sure you provide for your individual bird. Grayson here is really good with this situation. He's learned how it works, so he lifts up the top basket. He can get into those almonds very, very easily. If he was a bird that was more prone to chewing and destroying everything in sight, I would probably want those bowls to be a little bit sturdier. Now, if you have a smaller bird, you want to make sure that these baskets are not too heavy. You don't want to run the risk of them being able to pinch the head or a wing or a foot, anything like that. Obviously, everything you do with enrichment, you want to make sure that you supervise, you make sure that it is taking into account the safety and the well-being of the bird. But doing things like this is one of the best ways to get your bird thinking about their environment. So I certainly hope I have helped you guys realize a couple different ways that you can provide foraging and fun enrichment for your bird. Now, providing situations like this where our animals have to problem solve is definitely one of the best things about having animals around us, and I certainly hope you guys have enjoyed this. I do want to thank you guys for taking the time to go ahead and watch this video, and I encourage you guys to go on out, have fun with your animals, and have the very best day.